I'm Jason Belmonte, and I'm the world's best 10-pin bowler.
World's best.
Ben and Bill, I'm so excited for this. The best 10-pin bowler in the whole damn world. He's an Aussie. He's won 31 titles and 15 majors at the highest level in the States. Joining us for World's Best now, it's Jason Belmonte. How you doing, mate?
G'day, guys. How are you?
Very good. Now, Jason, have you got a go-to nickname? Is it Belmo? What should we call you?
Yeah, Belmo seems to be the one that caught on. Started when I was just a teenager, and it's still going.
When did you realise that you were like the world's best bowler? Were you just drilling people at like 11th birthday parties at AMF?
Well, the world's best. I didn't really know it until I was winning on the Pro Tour pretty consistently, and then you see the rankings, you see your points, and you're like, holy crap! There's no one else in the world that's beating me right now. That was a pretty surreal feeling.
Yeah, I mean, you say beginning to win on the tour. I mean, you're one of two people in history to win the Super Slam, which is like all PBA major titles.
Love that.
That's like,
Jason,
it's uncharted territory.
Belmo, what I love is that you're an Aussie doing what I perceive as an American sport, and you're doing it at the absolute highest level. How do the Americans handle an Aussie being the best at their sport?
Yeah, I'm really grateful actually, because at the beginning, it was a little difficult, but I don't know if it was because I was Australian, but it was more so because of the technique that I use. I bowl a little differently. Now there's a lot more people bowling the way that I do, but when I first came out on tour, it was very controversial, my two-handed technique, and so I think there was quite a lot of backlash about this non-traditional bowler. And maybe the fact that I was foreign might have also played into that storyline a little bit. But I think they love that I'm Australian. I think they tease me when I say words that are a little bit differently, and I think they enjoy the accent.
I like the idea of you starting out in the sport as well. And it's a bit controversial that you're using both hands, and then you became the best. It almost feels like a storyline of like a Will Ferrell movie. Or something like that, you know what I mean? Like as you're bowling, people are like freak, and then you win all the titles, and you're the best in the world.
Liam and I were talking about this off air because Liam was saying how crazy it is, the idea of getting a 300. But then I said to him, I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong here, but I was like, I'm pretty sure they get 300s all the time. How often are you bowling a perfect game?
Oh, they're not as often as you might think.
Right.
I think on the Pro Tour, I don't know, it might be 20-something, and I've been bowling on the Pro Tour for 14 years, and we bowl for 6 months a year. In my career, I've bowled over 100, but I've bowled 1 million games in my life.
Wow.
And that's not even exaggerating. I'm pretty sure it's 1 million at least.
When you're playing at the elite level, for me, I go bowling for birthdays. That's my main association with it. And when you're putting your name in, you'd always put like poop or fart. Like, do you still do that, Jess?
not quite that dramatically of a nickname change.
Yeah, okay.
But when I go bowling, in particular with my kids, they like to have a little bit of fun. So there's usually some silly nickname like,
Do you let them win, Jason?
Loser dad or something.
Yeah.
Oh, no, never. Oh, no, never. I tell them too. I say, listen, this is the one thing I know for sure for the rest of my life. I'm more than likely going to be better at it than you. And so if you do beat me, it's going to be a legit win. I'll be miserable. People think I'll be proud. No, I'll be miserable that my kids have finally caught me.
What about the diet? Are you on like an AMF diet? Like, are you eating hot dogs and chicken nuggets like in between and just slushies and stuff?
Wish. Yeah, no, I wish. So that's one of the really tough stereotypes to break. But on tour, we bowl for about 6 hours a day, 5 days of the week for 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
So, you're more than welcome to try that particular diet, but I don't know if it's going to, get you to the titles.
Jason, do you have a bowling alley in your house?
I just built a new home and we contemplated it, but I have such a connection to my family bowling center in town that it just didn't seem to. It actually felt like I would be cheating on the bowling center in town.
What about Nintendo Wii bowling? How do you go at Nintendo Wii?
I'm horrible, and it's usually whenever I go somewhere and there is that playing, everyone has this assumption that, you're going to smash everyone, and then I bowl like gutter balls regularly.
Jason Belmonte joining us this morning is the world's best 10-bin bowler. It's so crazy that it's an Australian as well. And this is what this segment is all about. World's best. I mean, you know the world's best basketballer.
Yep.
It's LeBron James.
Yep.
I had a question. I mean, if you know bowling, obviously you're going to know you. But how often are you getting recognised on the street? Say, if you go to the shops, are people like, Belmo? Is that you?
The crazy thing to me is, like, chatting to you now, Belmo, like, obviously you've got an amazing personality. You're a superstar of the game. It's just the fact that bowling here in Australia isn't like AFL. So the world needs to know about you, Belmo. So how often, as Liam said, are you getting recognised?
Well, I mean, in my hometown, quite regularly.
Yeah.
In Australia, not so much. But in the US, I mean, if I go to a restaurant or through an airport, it would be unusual if someone didn't ask.
Wow.
But hold on a second. Hold on. We're not talking paparazzi here. Right? I'm not getting mobbed by people. It'll be just one or two people that might come up, and it's nice. But I actually don't know if I would like the opposite. You know, people always say, don't you get upset that you're not more recognizable? And I said, I don't know. Like, I know some friends in the US who are very famous athletes, and whenever I'm with them, it doesn't look like it to be an enjoyable lifestyle, to be honest.
Do you have, like, names for your crazed fans, like Belmo Boys or something? like, we got to get out of this restaurant. The Belmo Boys are onto us. They know where we're parked.
No, I haven't done that, but I did have a cheerleading group that turned up and called themselves the Belmo Bunnies one time.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
You know what I'd love to do, Belmo? You might have already done this before, but I would love to do that classic thing where we dress you up as a super old man, like in your 90s, and we go to the local alley and you just smoke people. That'd be fun.
You've actually stolen an idea out of my head, except I wanted to do it on the actual senior pro tour. I wanted to dress up and go bowl the senior tour and see if I could get away with it.
Love that. Hey, I was wondering, have you ever bowled with this man?
That is right, I did it! At number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
Have you ever bowled with Pete Weber?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, from that audio excerpt that you've got there, I bowled on that specific show. He beat me in the match before that. So,
That's so funny.
I like to tell everybody you're welcome. I lost on purpose because I knew Pete was going to have one of the most iconic sound bites of all time.
Dude, that is honestly, I think everyone's favorite video on
Love
YouTube.
it.
So
Love it.
pretty much to you, he was saying, "Whoever you think I am, I am."
Do you want to know the funny part about that story, which I don't know if it's been told too many times, but because I bowled on that show and he was already losing his mind prior to that, and he was complaining about someone in the crowd, and that's who that comment was directed to. And I was there. There was no one there in the direction he was pointing. So I don't know who the person was, if there even was a person.
Oh, no.
It's almost like a figure of his imagination, like his self-doubt, and he's just confronting his demons.
So good. Look, mate, we really appreciate all your time this morning. If you want to get around Belmo, make sure you check out his Insta. It's probably the best way to keep in touch with him, @JBelmo. Mate, we really appreciate your time this morning. You're the world's best. You're a true champion and an Aussie hero. We appreciate you.
No worries at all. I appreciate your time, guys. Thanks a lot.